Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916, and tune in to another edition of Prison Talk. You guys are fascinated with the whole jail rape scenario. I get bombarded with questions about whether I've seen a man get his cheeks busted in prison, or male on male in prison. That's not something you look for, man. That's not something you come out of prison you brag about, or you think it's a conversation you have with somebody in prison. It's a horrible thing, man, when somebody's being forcibly violated like that, and you don't want to be a witness to that, because now you're involved in a conspiracy. And that has a whole nother charge behind it. If you witnessed that and didn't say something, and you open your mouth, or you did, you had something to possibly do with that, you don't want to be involved in anything like that. But things like that happen, man. There are a group of individuals in prison that are predatory. And on more than one occasion, I've heard stories about how they've taken advantage of innocent individuals who didn't understand the game. They weren't aware of their surroundings, the way they dressed, the way they walked. And when you have, 4, 5, 6 individuals who plan to assault one person, the only way you're going to come out of that is somebody's going to have to die, man. You're going to have to take somebody's life in order to prove your point, because these people have an agenda, and what they intend to do is by force. Talking with a OG of mine who was in Victorville, USP. Victorville was rocking. Back in the 2000s, Victorville, people were dying in there, getting stabbed daily. Very predatory. If you were considered soft, somebody oppress you, whether it's for your commissary, whether it's extortion, or whether it's for your booty, it was going down. Victorville had predators. And the homie, he was there, and he was a savage, man. He was about his business, but he said, man, these cats, they caught one, man. There was a youngster up in there, and they said he had booty, meaning that he had whatever pants he got from the laundry accentuated his booty to where these dudes, they wanted to do something to him. And he said it was about like 5 dudes, man. And they caught the youngster slipping, man. He said the first one went by and looked and saw that this individual was laying on their bunk, and their cellie wasn't in the cell with them. They were laying on the bunk with their booty in the air. Now, you never lay in the bunk with your booty facing behind you. You never lay in the bunk with your cell unlocked. You don't know who can run up in there. That's a very volatile position, you know, to be laying with your booty facing this cell entryway, because you can't see who's coming in there. Somebody can jump on top of you and it's a wrap. He said there was a couple other guys that were lookouts, and you could hear them commenting. They said, "Okay, man, this guy got some booty." So he said, what they did was two of the guys went in there and held him down, and they poked him with a shank. Not enough to kill him, but enough to weaken him in the sides. They poked him, man, and covered his mouth up. Horrible, man. He said it was horrible. You know, he could across the way, you know, hear the kid in there, you know, moaning, you know, screaming. And the other dudes proceeded to, you know, violate this dude, man. And it was nothing he could do because it didn't involve him, but there were other inmates who also witnessed this taking place. And these cats who did it, you know, that's how they got out. And there was a bunch of them on the compound, and they all rolled together. So if something came back and one of them had a problem, you got to deal with the whole car. But they violated that dude, man, and took turns violating him. And he said that guy ended up going to the infirmary. Never came back to the compound. Whether or not he told who did it, he said, man, it's hard to say if the guy even seen who did it, because he was laying down on his bunk and they came up from behind him and held him down. But these are the type of horrific things that happen in prison, man, that nobody wants to talk about, but there are victims. And if you're someone who isn't familiar with your surroundings, or you know, you don't have those type of street smarts, or you're not really paying attention, and you know, or maybe you on the street, maybe you were, you know, you have some tendencies and you come to prison, and these guys are master psychologists, master at body language and picking out weaknesses. They're going to exploit that weakness. So if you have that in you and you go to prison, somebody who's a predator, who doesn't have anything to lose, will prey on you, and it won't be to your consent. Sometimes it might be if you initiate it, but a lot of times it won't be, because these guys are savages like that. A guy doing 40, 50 years, 30 years, and there's a bunch of them, they don't care. So prison rape happens, but it's not nothing to glorify. It's not nothing to brag about, you know. He said, dude, it's like he walked around with two shanks every day up in there, because he you know, he was dealing with some other circumstances which required him to watch his back, because there was a price on his head up in there. But he lived every day to live another day. But yeah, you gotta think it ain't all like what these rappers say, and there's some stuff that happens in there, man, that you want to unsee. So if you watch this video, man, think about what you're getting into before you put yourself in a situation where you have 7 dudes running up in your cell trying to take your butt, man. Shit is serious. Big Herc 916. Prison talk.
Go. Hey, what does your shirt say?
Cancel culture.
Why is it crossed out?
Because over at Fresh Out, we ain't with that bullshit. Pick you up a shirt at freshoutseries.com. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.
I'm Big Hurt, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.